New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. 21-year-old accused of taking the lives of two Pennsylvania state troopers and a civilian in a DUI accident seemingly bragged about being the best drunk driver ever in a previous social media post. The suspect, identified as Gianna Tanae Webb, faces a slew of charges in connection with last week's fatal drunk driving incident. The charges include 3 counts of third-degree murder, 3 counts of homicide by vehicle with driving under the influence, and 2 counts of second-degree manslaughter of a law enforcement officer. The state troopers Webb allegedly struck and took the lives of while driving an SUV were identified as 33-year-old Martin F. Mack and Brandon T. Siska, age 29. The civilian casualty was identified as 28-year-old Rise Riviera. Authorities state that law enforcement officials were helping Riviera on the I-95 in Philadelphia when Webb struck all of them. The deceased trooper had responded to the scene after authorities received a report of Riviera walking on a passing lane of the freeway. Webb allegedly struck and took the lives of 3 men while the law enforcement officials were leading Riviera to their patrol car. The 3 victims were pronounced deceased at the scene. Officials stated that Webb's blood alcohol content was over double the legal limit. And Webb, who was arrested in the aftermath of the incident, is stated to have seemingly bragged about drunk driving prowess in a previous Twitter post. Quote, "If you ask me, I'm the best drunk driver ever." Moments before the fatal crash, a law enforcement source told the news outlet that Webb's vehicle had been pulled over by state police. But that traffic stop ended up being brief as troopers had to respond to calls about a civilian walking on the I-95. Webb has been ordered to be held without bail. See, this is what I mean by everything is linked, right? So if I go back to the story at the end, right? They stated this: moments before the fatal crash, a law enforcement source told the news outlet that Webb's vehicle had been pulled over by state police. But that traffic stop ended up being brief as troopers had to respond to a call about civilian walking on the I-95. Everybody in that whole instance was linked, right? So, which basically means that if there was a potential chance, right, that there might have been a third police car, right? That cop could have been like, you know what, you guys go handle that. I'll stay with her, right? Which means that those officers and that guy, that whole instance that was going on there, would have still been successful. They would have led that man to the police car. Everybody would have been alive and went home to their family at the end of the day, right? And then Miss Webb, right, if she was with that third officer, guess what? She would have more than likely had to do a sobriety test. She would have failed that sobriety test and she would have been, put in the drunk tank or what have you, right? She would have been made to sober up. She would have received a ticket. She would have more than likely had a court date, and her car more than likely would have been impounded because her blood alcohol level was 2 times right over the limit. So, in a sense, everybody would have been able to, go home and see their family at some point. But due to the effect of Miss Webb, not just her life is ruined, right? Not just the life of the uh 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 the guy that was walking along the road, not just the 2 officers, but everybody's life is affected by this because outside of the 4 people that are involved, which is Miss Webb, the 2 officers, and then the one guy that was walking alongside the road, you have the families of all of those individuals. And because of one person, it has caused irreparable damage to countless lives that will be affected by this one event. And this is when I sit up there and tell people that, people need to take more accountability and responsibility for the actions that they decide to commit to. This young woman decided that it was in her best interest to go out here and drink and drive. Not only that, but she also decided that she wanted to do so while bragging online as if this is just something, positive to sit up here and do. And then on top of not even just that, you have people trying to gain sympathy for her and trying to list other things to, in a sense, justify it or allow it to slide by. Like I said, I don't know what type of society that we are literally living in at this moment in time that people want to decide to allow such actions, such as this, to slide by. Where individuals like this, 9 times out of 10, people like her that like to do this, they always end up surviving. Everybody else around them ends up getting destroyed or having the lives of the people connected to them destroyed and irreparably damaged. But like I said, and I've said in many videos, you really can't tell black people nothing because black people are going to do what black people want to sit up here and do. So, like I said before, you can look online and you can see people literally defending her, saying that they are going to put money on her books. They're going to write her a letter. Oh, I'm going to go visit her. Everybody needs to support her. And then the greatest comparison that they try to bring up is Kyle Rittenhouse. So, what black people are, in a sense, stating, right, is that, hey, all right, the other group of people, they're standing by their people no matter what. We need to obviously do the exact same thing. Actually, no, we do not. Like I stated before, people need to be held accountable for the things that they are proven to have done. People need to be held accountable for the things they have proven to have done. She, on a multitude of occasions, has written tweets talking about drinking and driving, boasting about it. At any one of those moments before this, she could have potentially not only taken her life or injured her life, but she could have done that exact same thing to a multitude of other drivers out there who don't even know what her situation is. But like I said, you can't help people out here who do not want to be helped. You cannot tell people out here who don't want to be responsible and who don't want to acknowledge the wrongdoing that they are committing to, hey, slow down. Don't do this. I need you to be in a right frame of mind. Hey, maybe drinking is not the best thing. If you want to drink, hey, maybe stay at home, right? Maybe chill, right? Maybe go to a friend's house, where somebody can potentially drive you home. Or maybe you can go out to a club where potentially, hey, yet again, you can call an Uber, you can call a Lyft. Somebody who is not drinking, who is the designated driver, can sit up there and drive you home, right? The most interesting thing is that there's a lot of fail safes to stop people from drinking and driving, but yet people don't want to do it because people feel that they're grown and that as grown individuals, they're going to do whatever it is that they want to sit up here and do. And this is why I sat up there and told people before, you can't save people who don't want to be saved. You just can't. It's nothing you can do. She is a clear-cut example of that at this moment in time. You're not going to sit up here and boast. Like, this is what I get tired of right here, especially with the black community. You can't sit up here and do all of this wrongdoing and then turn around once everything catches up with you. Once you get arrested, you want to turn around and start crying. You want to turn around and start asking God and begging other people for forgiveness for a choice and a decision that you acknowledge is wrong, that you boasted about is wrong, but you still decided to do it. And then for those out there who, have different faiths, I'm just going to use the example of God, right? Because I come from a background of church, right? A lot of elders will sit up there and say that God will, send you a message if you just listen. God will give you a sign. Well, if we're going to go by that logic, right? God gave her a sign and a message loud and clear when the cops stopped her that day. That was that message. The second message was the fact that the cops decided, hey, we have a call that's way more important. So we're going to go handle this situation. You go on about your way. Make sure that you don't do this again. That was the message. What did she decide to sit up there and do? She didn't decide to sit up there and call a friend to be like, you know what? I just got stopped. What I need you to do is come pick me up and come drive me home. Let me sober up and then come pick me back up from my house, or I'll just call an Uber and I will come back and get this car from off the side of the road. She didn't decide to sit up there and call a friend and have that friend take her home and then have a family member or a next door neighbor drive back and go pick up her car. She didn't decide to do none of that. What did she decide to do? She was like, you know what? Beyond anything that God showed me right now, I'm going to sit up there and still drive this car because it's fun to sit up there and do, because this is what I love to sit up there and do. And inevitably, what did all that fun get her? In trouble. What did all that fun do? Took 3 lives directly off the board for clearly no reason at all. The cops were actually doing their job. They were trying to preserve life. They were trying to make sure that not only are the drivers on the road safe, but the pedestrian who was walking on the side is also safe as well. They were trying to actually save a multitude of lives that day, including your own life. But like I said before, what did she decide to do? She went against everything that was shown to her and still decided to do what it is that she wanted to sit up there and do. Wow. That, like I said, that's all I can sit up there and say is wow. Like I said, it's over. It's over. And for anybody out there literally defending or trying to find a justification as to why it is that she should be defended and why this should be excused, I don't got nothing to say for you. Because the moment in time that this exact same instance happens to you, a friend, your family, your little dog, or whatever it is, you're going to be sitting up there speaking differently. You're going to be out there magically becoming an advocate for moms against drunk driving and all these other things, because now it hits home. Now it's in reality. Now it's in the realm where it actually specifically affects you. And because it affects you, you want everybody else to now feel that effect, now feel that pain, now feel that hurt, now feel the effects of the decision that somebody else recklessly decided to commit to. Like I said, and I keep telling people are not going to understand stuff up until it starts hitting too close to home. But by that time, it's already too late. So the best thing that you can do at this moment in time is react now while you have that time versus trying to react later when it's far too late. And whatever you're doing at this moment in time is not going to bring that person back at all. While you have the power to act, you might as well act. Don't act later, because later is far too late.